world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Wednesday, January 11th. I could have swore that somebody I know's birthday is today. And you shouldn't need unless you want to come on air, but even then, right now you're fine, Mary Margaret. You should be fine. Like, can you hear the show, Mary Margaret? Can you hear the show? Please say you can hear the show. Okay. You can click and type and clickety-clack and put a new roof on your house and everything like that. But if you come on air, you're better off to have a headphone. But we could work around it if we had to in an emergency situation. But still, Mary Margaret, you have to get with me so that we can try and figure out how come your headset's not working. Okay, welcome. Today, of course, is Kathleen-Moore Day at Curious Times. It's declared it's an International Kathleen-Moore Day at Curious Times. And what else is coming up this week is we have Alicia DiPietro should be here tomorrow to interview Jen Young. Friday, Salva Dutton is here. Saturday, Yvette Howell is here. Sunday, Pamela Vincent. And Monday, Diana Monroe. Tuesday, Lisa Nolan Shalusky. And maybe next Wednesday I'll take the day off. Looks like maybe later in January I can have a few days off, or we'll just have some crazy, silly shows or something like that, okay? In that, hey Sheila, nice to see you. And everybody else as well. Amy's there, Carol's there, Dan is there. Dan the man, who we waited all this time before we start the show. We cannot start the show without Dan, seriously. And if you believe that, Dan, I got a bridge for sale. Anyway, Deb is here. Sheila and intuitalks-com, Mary Margaret on Skype, and Kathleen, of course, is the guest. So, for anybody who doesn't know Kathleen, that might be listening in Radioland at some other venue where intuitalks.com broadcasts, Kathleen is a gifted psychic medium, a clairvoyant, a spiritual counselor, and recently is no longer a ordained minister because she did not feel like renewing her shit. Okay? And so, in any case, she was formerly known as an ordained minister. Now she's just a minister, I guess, not ordained. Or as soon as, whatever. Okay, she's given thousands and billions of gazillions of readings and stuff like this over 20 some odd plus years professionally. And she can help her clients by connecting them with their loved ones, doing intuitive coaching, and helping them see into their future. Her services include private readings, gallery readings, house clearings, and motivational speaking events. You can find out more about Kathleen and the services that she provides by phoning 330-554. I missed him. I was about to say gentle journey, little fruit fly. That's the problem. I've been eating all these bananas and all these fruit flies are coming around. You know how in the old days it'd be like you'd And that was the first sign that you're crazy? You're going, no, there really is a fly that I'm trying to catch. Every now and then one will fly across my screen and I go like this and see, I wonder what do people think I'm doing? They know when I see a spider because that's when I immediately get up and go get the vacuum cleaner, regardless of what's going on the show at the time. In any case, I was in the middle of saying, to learn more about Kathleen and the services she provides, you can phone 330-554-8202, or you can contact her by email at KathleenMooreReading@gmail.com. And I haven't got a clue why we don't have a website up here, but Kathleen Moore, Psychic Medium, I think. Kathleen Moore, psychic-medium.com. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Kathleen Moore. All right, there you are. Hey.
Hello. Yay. We made it, and Mary Margaret's here, and Dan's here. We had to wait for Dan.
We had to wait for Dan. You know what I mean? Because
he is
the whole world. Well, he's the man, and he's like, I was all like, what's going on? Dan's always like, it's like he OCD clicks on the show because he's like, as soon as I open the chat room, like he's poof there. You know what I mean? And like everything was like, oh my God, where's Dan? I can't do anything without Dan here, for heaven's sake. Hey.
Well.
I just do what the voices tell me to do. There are voices. You're in big trouble, mister. You're in big trouble, mister. Okay, so how's things? What's going on in your world, Kathleen Moore?
Things are okay. Like I said, I lost a friend 2 days ago unexpectedly. So it's been a rough couple of days, but it's been a busy couple of days, so that's good. I don't know what quite to say about that. But I did work on topics for tonight.
Yay!
And I was so excited about that. So
You're hired. I don't pay anything, but you're hired.
Yes. So I was pretty, I know that I guess it's probably not a topic, but I wanted to do some dream interpretation, or I've been working a lot with spirit animal interpretation as well. So I thought maybe we could do some of that tonight if people were interested in that. So
that's cool. And so we can kind of just do that. Man, oh man, it was blowing real bad today, drifting snow, and I went out and shoveled my walks, and a little bit later I went to go get the mail out of the mailbox. It's freaking deeper than the amount of snow that fell. You know what I mean? That's how bad that the wind is blowing the snow. And so and it's cold wind, you know. The cold winds are blowing up here in Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta.
No, we had 50-mile-an-hour wind yesterday. It went from below freezing to 50 degrees because I'm in the polar vortex of hell of Ohio. Ohio truly is the vortex of hell with weather. You can literally have four seasons within 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, they always say if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute.
Yeah.
What I do like, and what I did start to notice already, is it's starting to stay lighter later.
Longer.
Stay lighter later. By the way, I do want to mention to all of our billions of listeners around the world.
We do have a lot.
That, give or take, you know.
Yeah.
999,999,999. Our good friend, Medium Renee Richards, is going to be broadcasting this Friday at Supernatural Radio, Corinne de Winter Station on Blog Talk Radio at 8 p.m. Eastern. She is going to be giving away 5 purple plates. Yes. 3 of them will be for, I don't know, chat room people, and 2 for people in the caller queue, or 3 for the people in the caller queue and 2 for the chat room. I can't remember. But that's the big news, because Renee has been off the air for way too long now. And so there you go. Call there. You just have to know that for readings, we go, I say we because I am the gatekeeper behind the scenes, the call screener. And we go with first time callers first. By the way, the cut is kind of, still a bit of a problem. It's kind of swollen. I can't show it adequately.
Ooh, that looks nasty.
See, it goes all the way to here, and all the way to down here, except for it didn't cut as deep on the ends, but it cut very deep in the middle. I think to the bone. Thank God God gave us bones in our fingers, or else I would not have, or else I would be like this now.
No, I think, well, maybe you would be.
I would be, because that totally would have cut all the way through if there wasn't a bone to stop it. Definitely would cut. But thank God I have a bone there that stopped all that nonsense. So, anyway, it hurts, and it hurts to do dishes and everything like that, but I still have to do dishes. Anyway, that's my news. Okay, so we want to start, what do you want to start with? Oh, Peter Dunn is back. Oh, look at that. We got a new regular listener, maybe all the way from New Zealand. Peter Dunn in the house. I just got to wait till he can hear. Hello, Peter. Welcome to the show today. I am so happy to see you came back. And now you too will be addicted to curious times. Yes, we are. Whenever I hear like a reader asking what person that they're do you like the other night, the numerologist guy was asking somebody, do you have any problems with addictions? And I was going to butt in and say, they're all addicted to curious times. And, you know what I mean? We don't want the fix. I don't want the fix. Because if I had the fix for that, I wouldn't have any listeners. Then I wouldn't have any guests. Because my guests would say, Chris, you have no listeners. Why am I wasting my time?
Well, I would still come because I enjoy spending time with you and chatting and laughing and, you're Canadian.
And I'm Canadian. Well, we could have like Dan would come and hang out and whatever.
And Mary Margaret, she's always good for a laugh.
Margaret she's excellent for a laugh.
Yes. I enjoy Amy's,
Amy has.
I love her stories. I could listen to Amy's stories all night.
Amy, did you ever get me the date for the tow truck incident? If you did, my 1,000 apologies. I misplaced it. Because I want to go I want to bring live to you guys. I want to go find that show, and I'm pretty sure it was in overtime. When she told this story, oh my God, I could not even handle it. It's so funny. Because it's one thing to know the story, but you had to hear it the way it was told. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you're listening to me, Amy, I'm sorry if you sent me the date. I think you did. And I wrote it down. And I have too many notes and stuff. I cannot find anything anymore that I wrote down. So this time I promise I'll put it on a sticky and I'll not be able to lose it. If you could please find me that date again, Amy. So then I'll go find the show and I can play it live, Anyway. Okay. So what should we talk about? You said dream interpretation.
Well,
what do you want to talk about?
I've been working on the last few. I try to talk about what I'm connecting with the most with a lot of my clients, and I've had a lot of requests for dream interpretation lately, and People have been having, of course, Mercury just went out of retrograde, so everybody knows when that's in retrograde, and then tonight's the full moon. But a lot of people have been requesting or sending me messages for dream interpretation, so I thought we'd work on that. If anybody has, we could do some of that tonight. And I've also have been this new meditation I've been doing that, believe it or not, I got for Christmas. My husband bought me a Google Home, which is kind of like, so Big Brother now lives in my home all the time. But anyways, you can say, my one dog, you've all heard her, she gets a little separation anxiety. So as a joke one day I said, Google, play meditation music for my dogs. And it says, okay, 8 hours of meditation music for dogs with separation anxiety. And it started playing all these animal sounds and music. And I actually started meditating to it. And I started having all these really cool animal spirits coming to me with that. And it's been a really, really cool experience the last few days. So I thought maybe if people wanted to, I could do some spirit animal meanings, what those animals mean, if you're connecting to them, why sometimes you'll go for some people are really attracted to wolves, but then they're like, but I'm not really into wolves anymore. Now it's more of a tiger or a butterfly or something like that. I can do some interpretation with that. And of course, I always have, the spirits whispering in my ear. So mediumship readings too, but
right.
Those are the two I've been working on, a lot of dreams and dream interpretation. Every time I start to have disturbing dreams as well, like I don't necessarily remember them, but I know I wake up feeling unsettled or a feeling of dread, tends to have something happen in the world or in my life. So
yeah. I forgot to even mention this on the show when it happened. It was like either last week or the week before, because who knows, because the time is just flying so much. It just is clicking by at a ridiculous rate. I could have sworn that just a couple weeks ago was a whole year ago. I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm so corny sometimes. But I was sitting here one morning and I just hear this I just hear this outside, and I'm all like, "What is that?" And then I hear it I hear it over there, and then I hear it over there, and then I don't hear it, and then a little while later I hear it over here again, and I hear it over there again. I'm like, what the? So I get and I open my door and I see there's a bird. It must be a woodpecker. It has to be a woodpecker. I cannot believe any other bird would do this, but was going to the one pole on my doorstep. They got the big square wooden pillar thingy, you know what I mean? And so the bird would go there, peck, 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 and then fly to the next door neighbor's one, peck, 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 peck. And then nothing, and then a little while later. So, and it's never happened since. So it got me to wonder, because usually when you have something that happens all the time, then I don't make much of it. If somebody has a hummingbird bath in their yard and there's always hummingbirds there, and then they see a hummingbird, I'm not going to get all too carried away that there's some spirit message there for them, But out of the blue, all of a sudden, I've lived here 20 some odd years, you know what I mean? Never had such a thing happen, and all of a sudden, one day, 2 times, boom, 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 and I'm so there has to, and I never really did. It's I have to look up the woodpecker find out what the spiritual animal totem. Maybe I have a new totem that is joining me for a little while. It's for me though, it's a woodpecker just off the top of my head. I'm a little bit thinking that's a little bit just persistent. You know what I mean? Somewhere I had animal cards. Oh, here, animal. Animal crackers in my soup. Lions and tigers, loop-de-loop. Let's see if they got a woodpecker. A woodpecker. Anybody got any guesses? Woodpecker.
Is it a woodpecker?
There's a hummingbird. Well, I'm just guessing because they don't have.
Could have been a flicker, but that's a type of woodpecker too.
Well, they don't have this thing alphabetically. What kind of ridiculous people? Wild boar, prairie dog, raccoon, blue heron, hummingbird. No woodpecker. I know where I can go to find out some information about a woodpecker, though. Spirit Lodge. Woodpecker. Got wood? It's funny because I was driving through a town, a really small town up north, in northern Saskatchewan actually, and I noticed a sign because it had. Now I'm gonna get dangerously close because a keen internet researcher might be able to find out my name by me saying this, but there was a big highway sign, for something, and I was drawn to it because it had my last name on it. And then it said, got wood. and so, or something. No, it didn't say that. It was a wood-related sign. A wood-related sign. And then I made a joke of it saying, got wood? Preserve it with blah, blah. And then I'm all like, that would be a good Viagra commercial. Got wood? Preserve it with Viagra. You know what I mean? A good wood preserver is Viagra. Wouldn't that be very witty? That's funny, isn't it? Like a wood preserver.
That is funny. That is very witty.
Right? Isn't that's freaking so funny. I should be able to be on Las Vegas or something with all of my funniness and everything like that.
You should be. You should have
your
your own radio show.
I think so.
No, a woodpecker usually signifies that there's a storm brewing, but that you are always protected. It also means that you're coming into a time of abundance, so that's a good sign. And they usually show up right before there's a windfall. And then you should always pay attention to your cycles and rhythms, because when you start to honor your cycles and rhythms, so you're your biggest block is what that says when you pay attention to that. But yeah, woodpeckers always show up as a spirit animal right before a windfall or abundance comes in.
I'm no longer old enough to have a cycle. I'm kidding. And cool. I got a page full of this. Okay, so Flicker, if you're born between this period, no. Bobby Lake, Patricia, I don't care what they say. In Japan, the woodpecker was known as a lucky bird that brought good fortune to hunters. People honored it with a salute when it was seen. Woodpecker often gives a shrill cry when a storm is approaching. There you go. In this manner, said Native American bird spoke to thunder. Superstitions. The yellowhammer, a species of the woodpecker, is an ill-omened bird that is a servant of the devil. The devil makes the mark on its eggs. A nail will not stay in any tree where the woodpecker builds its nests. Magical attributes. Warning of approaching trouble. Good luck. If seen in meditation, trouble is near. Prophecy, divination for checking a situation for problems. Merry summer rain regarding dreams. Says woodpecker relates to an effort to rid self of negative aspects. Interesting. In Scandinavia, the woodpecker is held as a sort of a weather prophet. Okay, so that's the storm approaching. A Greek myth, Celeus, whose name means green woodpecker, attempted to steal honey that had nourished Zeus while he was a baby. As punishment, the angry god transformed Celeus into the woodpecker. Celeus, in turn, fathered Triptolemus, who was credited with the invention of the plow. That makes no sense to me. So the connection between the woodpecker and plowing is further supported by a French legend which holds that during creation, once God made the earth, he called on various birds to help by digging out places that could be filled with water. Tradition says that only the woodpecker refused to cooperate. According to a German version of the story, the woodpecker refused, not wishing to dirty her plumage. For this reason, the bird was condemned to peck wood and drink nothing but rain. That'll teach you. And who says God is not vindictive? So the Dreamer's Dictionary, Lady Stern Robinson and Tom Gorbett, to hear or see him at work, the woodpecker, forecasts family squabbles due to immoderate attitudes or behavior, so guard your tongue and watch your step. Admittedly, it's an uncomfortable position to maintain, but try it for the time being. Ted Andrews, we all know Ted Andrews, says the woodpecker is one of those birds whose history is filled with myth and lore, much of it in connection with its most notable characteristics, the drumming. See, that's what And the relative of the flicker, it is a relative of the flicker, and they share many of the same qualities and characteristics. In European folk tradition, the woodpecker was often considered a weather prophet. There we go with the weather again. The Native American tradition is it is a bird connected to the heartbeat of Earth itself. The drumming has many mystical connections, from new life rhythms to applications of shape-shifting. Many shamans learn to ride drum beats into other dimensions. Different kinds of woodpeckers, the downy woodpecker is the smallest woodpecker. Okay, woodpeckers peck holes in trees, blah, blah, blah. If a woodpecker has drummed out a song for you, then you should ask yourself some specific questions. Are you looking at aspects of your life rationally? Are others around you not discriminating in their activities? Are you discriminating in your activities? Are you or others in your life just jumping into situations with little or no analysis? Sometimes the woodpecker will show up just to stimulate new rhythms. Rhythm is a powerful means of affecting the physical energy. Sometimes it's easy to get so wrapped up in our daily mental and spiritual activities that we neglect the physical. This can be when the woodpecker shows up. It may also reflect a need to drum some new changes and rhythms into your life. And so the woodpecker has strong hooked claws for firm holds upon a tree, its tail feathers, blah, blah, blah. So isn't that interesting? Because I think the freaking woodpecker showed up for me. And there ain't never been a woodpecker anywhere around here. All of a sudden, it's like banging on my freaking door practically. You know what I mean? And so... and it came back and then for me to like actually get and go and look, you know what I mean?
Well,
and I almost
right. There definitely, I feel that they show up when people are always like, does somebody, a loved one, send me a sign? And sometimes people are connected to hawks, so I do think that we get physical, earth energy always sends you who you need or the spirit animal you need. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to talk about that tonight, because like I said, between the dreams and them coming to people in dreams lately, and then the physical signs and stuff like that, it's pretty interesting how it does really show you what you're going through right now too. Like when you read all that, you're like, oh my gosh, there it is. So it is pretty neat. Now, I did actually have a client that asked me about a unicorn. They said, could a unicorn be, which I thought was hilarious because we're always using, the unicorn. And I actually did find some information on that, about getting in touch with your sense of wonder again, about connecting with magic, connecting with things that are pure, or having a spiritual experience or awakening, and that's what a unicorn would signify. So even mythological creatures or the Fae are included in that. So it's been pretty interesting. I've been having a good week with it. Like I said, I just really connected to the animals and the earth energy again when I started that meditation for my dogs turned out into a meditation for me. And it's amazing how we have to get back to nature sometimes. That, posted a video today on my page about how forests heal us and how we have to step outside of the everyday grind, and that just being in nature for 10 minutes a day can heal you. And sometimes that nature is just as much as stepping outside your door and listening to the sounds of nature. There's always nature around, no matter where you live.
Sure. Yeah. Indeed. Sometimes it's just the drunks on the corner, but it's still nature. Just kidding. Yeah. Hey, Renee is here. Hello, Renee. I gave the announcement that your show is on Friday. And very nice of you to pop in. So, does anybody want to come on and talk about what they either know or want to share or ask or whatever, or do anything or get a reading, or did you have a dream with animals? I had a dream. I have a dream, and I can't remember it. I had a dream that I cannot remember. I even remember if it was like my most recent sleep, or the sleep before that. And anyway.
So
you guys are getting okay.
Yeah, so the dream interpretation. I'm excited about Renee's show too. I think that'll be good. Everybody will have purple plates is pretty awesome. So.
And people won't qualify if they already have a purple plate, and that's that. Technically, if you've already won prizes from Renee, you should probably let someone else win too. But pretty soon we're gonna run out of people, that don't have a purple plate. I don't know how many. Do you know? Many of us have a purple plate. I have like many purple plates. I have so many purple plates. It's donkulous. So I don't have no callers. Come on, you guys. It's a freaking radio show. Calling.
Well, that's okay. Almost all of them have had readings from me before. I just didn't know if anybody had any questions.
No, they could talk about animals or do something. You know what I mean? Well, Mary Margaret's just listening because it's the only way she can listen to the show anymore. Unless Mary Margaret's wanting to come in. Mary Margaret can push 1. Tired to talk. That's okay, Amy. Did you hear me before? I need that date again. If you gave it to me, I apologize humbly to you. But I need that date again. Need that date. The date that you had the tow truck incident. I think you looked it up recently, and I think that it might be in some of these crazy amounts of pages of notes and everything else that I have, but I can't, because I got scribbling all over every one of these pages, and scribbly, and I can't find this silly thing. Thank you, I'm sorry, and I promise this, I won't ask you again. I will write it down. I will carve it into no, I won't. Peter Dunn. Look at Peter came onto the camera.
Hello.
Okay, so do you want to come on and talk to us, Peter? Nod if you do. Nod, yeah? Yes, okay. Let me find my... Okay, what you have to do, Peter, is in the upper left hand of the window, there's a picture of a headset, and you got to click it and then say share microphone. Share my microphone. Give permission to share your microphone. And then I can, otherwise we'll do sign language. Or we'll do one of those shows where, you have to keep on writing the message and turning the paper and flipping it over and then going like this. He's probably going, what is that crazy woman? Oh, there he is. Okay. Hey, Peter.
Hi there.
How you doing there?
I'm
How's
good,
it going?
thanks. How are you going? Pardon?
Good. Oh, you got a dog behind you.
Yeah, having a sleep. Yeah.
Awesome. Basking in the late morning sun.
No, it's 10:45 in the afternoon here.
Oh, it's 10 to 5 in the afternoon. Okay then.
But
Basking in the late afternoon sun.
it's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday. Indeed.
Okay.
So, what do you know about animal totems, or you know anything?
No, I don't know nothing about animals. I love dogs, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, love dogs too. What kind of dog is that? I can't see its head.
It's the Jack Russell.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's laying down.
He's probably older. Wait, don't say. He's like 12 years old.
No, she's 7, I think. 7? Yeah, 7 years old.
Oh, I'm so wrong. See, that's why I'm not the psychic, Peter. I'm not the psychic.
Close.
And so listen, do you want to have a reading from Kathleen, or what do you want to do? You want to talk about
Well, yeah, we'll give it a go if Kathleen wants to. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Did you want,
go ahead, Kathleen.
did you want, a mediumship reading, or, one of the spirit animal readings, or dream interpretation?
Just medium one, thanks.
Okay. Just give me a second.
Please stand by.
Yeah, it takes me a minute. I'm trying to pull in. There's a gentleman that steps forward for you. He's fairly tall, but he has a very distinct mustache. He looks about 6 foot, 6'1", so that's tall for me because I'm 5'4", but he steps forward, very thin. He shows me that he lost a lot of weight right before he passed, and he shows me a large chicken coop. Who is that?
I've got no idea. I have no idea.
He shows me a large chicken coop, and I see like he walks out of, it almost looks like I would describe it as a bungalow, like he steps up out of the bungalow, and then I see to the right, he shows me a chicken coop, and he shows me he lost quite a lot of weight before he passed. Like he looks very thin, and he didn't like that he was so thin. But he does step up for you, so I'm not sure what the chicken coop is, but I will tell you that because he shows me that picture specifically. And he shows me that he followed you around and traveled. Did you have a VW van? A 76 VW van?
Not a 76, a 64.
64, okay, because he keeps showing me a VW van, but I thought it was in the 70s. You look like you were dressed in the 70s. And he keeps showing me that. He shows me that you did some travel with that. And he shows me that van. And that you often talk about if you found another one of those, that thing ran like a tank. Is that correct?
Hey, I've got a Facebook group devoted to VW vans.
Okay, so that's why he's showing me that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so he shows me that, and he shows me that he's really interested and into that with you. So I don't know if this is a gentleman that you worked with, on those, or if it's a family member. But he does show me the chicken coop and stuff, so I think that's significant. It might not be something you're remembering now. And he keeps showing me, he says that you have to give yourself time to get back on the road again. He goes, your health is getting a little bit better, but he says you need a trip that's coming up. He says that you've been stagnant for a little while. He says, yeah, you have to get out. Did you just take care of somebody, a woman that just passed away?
No. My best friend, who was my little dog, he died recently, and I had to look after him for a while. He was really close to me. He was like a son that I never had.
Okay, because he keeps telling me that you've been taking care of everybody for so long, and now it's time for you to regroup, but the way for you to do that is to travel a little bit. But I do see that is by car or by so you can see everything. You like to be able to stop when you want. You want to connect. You just kind of want to get and go until you run out of gas, then put more gas in and keep going. And that's what he keeps showing me. But he shows me that he's been around quite a bit. But the VW vans, I see blue and white one. There's one that's got flowers all over the side on one side, and then on the other side is like, it looks like they replaced the door. It doesn't match. So, I mean, he's showing me all these different ones. So I don't know if that has something to do with your group or if that just has something to do with back in the day. But he shows me you driving that. So I do think there may be another one coming into that you might find on these adventures. But he says it's time for you to go on when you need to go on an adventure. And he keeps telling me how like he keeps clapping you on the back like he wants you to know he's there. Did the death occur, your friend, like the last 4 weeks? 4 weeks ago, there was the sense of relief and the peaceful passing. Like he shows me, and that might be when you came to the time where you were like letting it all out or letting it go. But he shows me 4 weeks ago, the ground got very level for you again.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Yeah.
Yeah. He says that you were exhausted. You were really, really tired by that time. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, I am a bit tired. Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who this man is. I mean, it fascinates me. I had a grandfather who was very tall. I mean, I'm tall. I'm 6'1". I've got a moustache.
Okay.
So yeah.
He shows me that his hair was very thin. He always kept a very neat mustache. He shows me that he lost a lot of weight. The chicken coop might be something that's more to before you were around. I really feel it's a family member just because he shows me the VW van. He shows me very specific information, and I've never actually met you before or have connected with you on Intuitalks before, so I'm not sure. Usually, sometimes they give me names and sometimes they don't, but he gives me the impression he's been around since you were quite young. I feel he passed a while ago, but he said he was really
I had a brother, Desmond, who died at birth, and he probably would have been tall and thin like me and my brother.
Okay.
But that was he would have been, that was probably 70 years ago that he died.
Yeah, I get the impression this gentleman was, a part of your physical life, so I think this is somebody, and it might come to you later. I'm hoping he'll tell me his name. I keep asking him, but he keeps showing me he's very excited. He says you need a break and you need to reconnect with that free spirit. Because he's showing me you would travel all around the world if you could. If you had the time and the money, you would travel all over the world and just connect it and just stay, I might stay here for 3 weeks. I might stay there for 4 months. I might stay here for 2 years. But he does show me the VW vans are very, very important to that connection. There's a big connection with the VW vans. So I don't know, maybe he was somebody that, traveled with you in that van when you had it.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, like you lose track of people over the years, and it could have been somebody that I knew when I had that VW van. So
yeah, he keeps showing me the year 1976. I thought he was showing me the year of the van, but he keeps showing me the year 1976. So, and since your van was in the 60s, but maybe it was the 70s that you were driving it around, or he was connected to it at that time.
Late 70s, early 80s that I had that van. So, yeah.
Was it red and white?
Yeah, it was red and white. Yeah.
Yeah, he's showing me red and white. So he was in that van. He was definitely connected to you during the time you had that van. So he probably passed.
I know who it is. It's John. It's John Porky. His nickname was Porky because he used to be fat, and he lost a lot of weight. He lose a
lot of weight?
Yeah, he did, but he got really sick and he lost a lot of weight.
That's what he's talking about. I said he was way too skinny. He didn't like
Yeah,
being that skinny.
yeah. No, he died. It'd be 10 years ago now, I guess, something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was my best friend. He used to go in that van all the time with me.
Well, that's him.
That's How about that?
It's
That's
time for you
amazing.
to time for you to go on another little trip.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, well, I've got things I've got to sort out here at first. I mean, I've got some business things, I've been dragging on for a long, long time and they never seem to come to fruition. So, but things are looking really good now. And I spoke to a lady last night on the group here, and it's, I'm a Taurus. I was born on the 11th of May, 1955, and this Friday, the 13th, is supposed to be, well, tomorrow here is supposed to be some major changes in my life from then on. So I'm hoping that's right. Yeah.
I believe that to be true, and this gentleman is stepping up for sure to let you know that. But I think he says you have to get back to that you that we traveled. So, and he shows me getting in the car and driving. That's how you. He says, let's get back to that part of you, because that's when the success will come. That's when it'll come back in, because that's the core essence of you. But he shows me you've been taking care of somebody or somebody that's been sick, and now that passing's gone, you can concentrate on you, and concentrate on where you need to be.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. Fascinating.
Well, I appreciate the honor of you allowing me to read for you. He was he's a very nice, I like him. He's funny though, because he said right away he didn't like being that thin. As much as he was overweight, he really didn't like being that thin. No,
he wouldn't have. No, he was sick for a long time, and he had a lot of personal issues, and I think when he did pass away, I think it was at his own hands rather than everybody assumed that it was natural, but I've always been convinced that he made it look natural. So he'll know what you're talking about.
He was ready to go home when he did, for sure. And I get the impression but I'm not sure what the chicken and the chicken coops are. He does show me that, and it's a very, very vivid picture I'm seeing. So I don't know if that's something that might come to you later, or maybe that has something to do with coming in the future, but I'm really going to go with the way he came in. Like I almost want to call it like one of those prefab cabins where you would walk in and there's one room and you go into the next room and that's it. And then I see a chicken coop off to like when he comes out on the porch. So maybe it even had to do with the place you stayed when you were on that trip together.
Their house where he lived was a lot like a chicken coop. It was very, very run down, and I think they actually did have chickens there once. I think a long, long time ago. Maybe I think they did. But it was a very run down little house, tiny little house. Yeah, maybe that's it.
He shows me it's not like that anymore, so he's good.
That's
he says he's going to help you through. He goes, even ground. He's like, it's smooth. He actually says it's smooth sailing from here. Smooth sailing from here.
Nice.
Not too late.
No, that's good. No, I'm pleased. I'm pleased that he's there, because he was my best friend for a long, long time.
Still is.
Yeah. No, he still is. Yeah, definitely. I remember his birthday every year and say happy birthday to him, and remember him at Christmas and the anniversary of his death. I always remember him. So yeah, he's not forgotten. Yeah,
you guys had some big adventures in the I like the VW van. He was very specific on that. So even right down to the color, that's pretty amazing.
I've got a picture on my computer here of him sitting in that VW van.
There you go. Well, he stepped up pretty strong. It just took me a minute to get, unfortunately didn't tell me his name, but I guess he probably assumed you would know who he was.
Yeah, now you describe. He had a big moustache. He was, I guess he'd be 6 foot. Yeah, he wasn't far off it, but but he got very, very thin at the end. Very thin.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I really appreciate you telling me this. It's sort of, really focuses me and makes me reflect on stuff, which is good.
You're very welcome. It was an honor.
Well, thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, thanks. Nice of you to come back and get you addicted to the show now.
I'll be back plenty of times. Don't worry about that.
Awesome. That's great. You're always welcome. So I got to find my studio page here and just we'll mute Peter. And so we're going to do, we'll take a quick song break and then we'll come back and see where we're at. Okay?
Okie dokie.
I haven't played Candy Crush in ages. I should sign on there and send free whatever it is you send your friends or whatever. I haven't even opened the game in so long. It's not even funny. We're back. Quick shout out, and then we're either going to need to find some people to come and talk with us, or we're going to get out of here early. Amy's here. Carol is here. Christy Hu, Dan the Man, Deb, Sheila, Mary Margaret. Kathleen is our guest, of course. Marie, how you doing? Medium Renee Richards, looking forward to Friday. Mike, how are you? You came in time, at least for us not to say, hi, Mike, see ya, you're out of here. And Peter Dunn from New Zealand and Corinne De Winter. So let me go get Kathleen. There you are. Hello.
Hello.
So when's the last time you had a vivid dream that you think had some meaning for you?
Actually the night before Corinne interviewed me on the last show, so 2 weeks ago. I don't always remember my dreams. When I do, I try to write them down.
I said dream, not nightmare.
Well, they were weird dreams. I remember it. It was weird. There was 3 of them, one after the other, and they were all weird. But that was the last time that I remember. The last few days, I've woken up with that feeling of dread and everything, but now I know why, so that's that. But I don't remember them all the time. I'm more of a messenger. Now, I have been with a lot of my clients lately. It's been really, a couple of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good to talk to you again. And they're like, this is our first time together. And I'm like, oh. And then I remember that I've dreamed or received some of the messages and, I can't grasp the dream, but I know that I've got the messages beforehand, so.
Yeah, I know that happens to, Renee at times too. She'll get messages a couple of days before, she's even going to talk to somebody. And their dead people will already be on her doorstep bugging her, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's interesting. Some people, I always say, just like with animals, some people, they want to make a big deal out of every animal they see or something. And my standard one is, oh my God, I saw a bird flying west with a twig in its mouth. Well, his nest is there and he's building a freaking nest. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it doesn't always have to be some deep, profound meaning for you. If it's something out of the ordinary, definitely take note. And same with dreams, sometimes they're just speaking to us about something that's on our mind already, that's in our subconscious. Sometimes it's a prophecy type of dream. Sometimes it's not even a dream. It's an astral traveling type of trip, a journey of sorts.
Right.
And so, Corinne wants to start an advertising agency. But I have
It's a great idea.
No, before your birthday next February. Good God, don't start another thing right now, Corinne. Corinne. I think she's saying because the numerologist guy must have told her she had to do something before. It's not. Oh, you're in a 9-year.
Yeah.
I thought you're supposed to do new stuff in a 1 year, not in a 9-year. You wrap shit up. Yeah, I thought, but what do I know? You got Carol sitting there. Oh, So yeah, you mean you have to wait until? Didn't you want to wait until? Oh, I thought you said you have to do it before your birthday in February. Have to do it. You have to wait to do it. Is that what you're saying? You have to wait till your birthday to start. Is that what? Because I'm confused. I don't know what the hell she's saying. I'm in an. Oh, you're in an 8 until February. That's why I'm thinking next, like you got a whole nother year because you're in a 9, and I thought that you wrap shit up in a 9 year and you start new stuff in a 1 year. But what do I know? I don't know anything. I don't know anything. The more shitty ads she sees, the more she wants to be in an advertising agency. The problem is who's gonna hire you? They're gonna say, "Oh, what degree do you have in advertising?" You know what I mean? You can say, "I have a life degree." They don't want to know your sentence in prison. They know my own company. Who cares? I know. Who cares? Can Kathleen give you a reading, but you don't want to bother to come on air, right, Amy? Which means we have to do this. Wait until you can type your answer, or you're back and forth, or are you gonna call in for the reading, Amy? I mean, we'll do it. I would not ever say no to you, Amy, for anything. Okay, she'll call in. Good. It's just easier that way. There's instant feedback, you know, and so that will work. Can't find my phone. Okay, quick, we need a psychic in the house to tell her where her effing phone is. And I hear it somewhere near my buttocks.
I was just going to say you're sitting on it, but I didn't know that as a psychic.
Yeah. You guys cracked me up. Oh, Annette is here. Oh, isn't that interesting? She has the same last name as, it's a different Annette maybe, as Rebecca Bryson. Wonder if that's Rebecca. I have to wait till that person gets ears on before I can talk to them. Unless Amy's calling in on some other person's phone. She's butt dialing from Annette's phone. She adds a whole new meaning to butt dial. Just butt dial us, Amy. You shouldn't have to exert too much effort.
I'm going to be in Canada next week.
British Columbia?
No, I wish. I'm going to be in Niagara Falls. I have an event there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Good. As a dual citizen, do you still get stuck with the duty fees and all this stuff? Because it's just no matter what.
When I travel across the border, I have to now they require me to use the passport of where my home is, which is here in the States, so I have to do everything like I'm a U.S. citizen. Now, they won't kick me out, though, if I decide not to come back, but...
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Well, I'm wondering if this and that, that could not be Rebecca. Not interesting, same last name. Okay, there's Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Amy.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Hold on 1 second, okay? Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Very good, Annette. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Peter, for bringing more people. We want more people. Tell all your friends. Tell all your friends to come and become addicted to Curious Times and the crazy crew that hang out at Curious Times. It's got nothing to do with my show. It's everything to do with the characters that hang out in the chat room.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Thank you. So, do you have a question?
Yes, it's about career. Just what you see as far as career goes.
Well, the last time you and I did a reading, I saw that you were like going in a completely new direction. So.
Oh, yeah, I just did this. So do something else. Read me about something else. I forgot. I'm sorry. I was just trying to fill some time.
No, that's okay, and I appreciate that. It's, did you have an interview this week?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How did it go?
No, I didn't have one. I didn't have one yet. I have one on Friday.
Okay. And is that one out of you're going to be moving again. I'll tell you that right now. I really feel you're going to be moving again. I think you're leaving Florida.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, good.
There's snow on the ground where I'm going.
There can be, but that can be anywhere now. Even Florida. I mean, didn't it get cold enough for almost snow down there last week?
It almost snowed, but it didn't actually snow.
Yeah, I actually
in fact,
feel
I think Florida was the only state, because, it snows in Hawaii a lot.
I feel that you're moving to a place where there will be at least snow-capped mountains.
Mountains?
I see mountains.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But I see pretty mild temperatures, and I feel it's going to be in a whole different direction for you, but I see within 6 months of you moving, you thriving, absolutely thriving. And,
I need to thrive because I'm so not thriving now.
Right. I really feel the whole new beginning is going to be pretty great. And I think it'll get you out from underneath somebody that's been it's almost like I see you underneath a thumb, like somebody if you put your thumb on the tail feathers of a bird, it can't fly, and that's the way I feel. So I truly feel that you're moving in a whole new direction, and I think you're moving away from your routine. So I feel you're moving towards mountains rather than, I'm not going to say there is an ocean nearby. There probably is, but I feel you thriving, and I feel that will take place by July or August. And I know you don't want to know about love because you're done with that, you said, but you're not.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then tell me more.
I feel right after, what I see is right after the move, you meet somebody that is very, it does not work with you. I feel that you meet somebody in the new area and there's just so much in common, and it's a very connected relationship, and you really truly thrive. In fact, I think some of us will miss you for the first couple of months because you'll be thriving. You just won't have time to,
I'll have a brick and mortar life and not a, serious life.
Well, no, I think that you'll still be here, but I think that you'll be so busy all the time, and you'll be moving in a very positive direction. I feel you thriving, and I feel peace.
Peace?
Peace. I feel that you're at peace.
Oh.
Peace. Like, hey, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like peace, love, and understanding.
Yeah.
No, peace. Just love and understanding you already have. It just won't be hard. The relationship's not going to be hard. When you take care of other people, there'll be somebody there that'll take care of you at the same time. But I see snow-capped mountains.
Okay, so what's that? Okay. Denver?
Like I see when you're there, there's always a beautiful view. And you start to thrive, and not that you're not thriving in Florida, but I think
No, I'm not thriving.
I don't think Yeah, you've gotten everything you
thanks
can out of there.
Thank you for trying to not insult me, but no, I'm not. No one's thriving. No one's thriving. Who lives on a couch?
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
When you were thriving this year is when you were outside of Florida, when you were traveling.
Right. I'm always thriving when I'm outside of Florida.
Right. So get the hell out of Florida.
Florida's not all it's cracked up. Florida's not all it's cracked up to be.
No. And it's kind of odd because I almost feel, I've done a few readings for you before, and before I've always felt this need to stay there and to fix, and when you're traveling, you're getting good, but it was almost like you were trying to help somebody else through before you started taking care of your needs. And even though you were traveling for Bruce and you were doing, I really feel business wise, you were trying to help somebody else get to the next level, and you've lost yourself in the shuffle.
Yes, exactly. Gone. Yep.
Right. And now I feel that it's not a selfish thing. You get there, I do feel that you're probably going to move because of a job or I'm done, I'm getting out, and you start to thrive. You're at peace, you start to thrive. There's not a lot of what I call hanger-ons,
Right.
So I think that's coming. I think it's coming sooner than later. I don't feel it's, Oregon, although Oregon pops up a lot with you, but I think that more has to do with the connection that you have, in the past in Oregon. I don't feel it's Oregon, but it looks kind of like, that type of landscape. I know your daughter lives in Washington, but I think I would recognize those mountains because I'm from that area as well.
Right.
So
they're very.
They're very recognizable. So, and I don't recognize these mountains. So, but I see snow cap, I see vast forest, I see that feeling of nature, and you truly are just, you're like, I love my life. I love right where I'm at.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah. The sooner you go, the better.
Perfect.
So, and where's the center? Well, I shouldn't ask all that on the air, but I feel the interview this week will go very well, and that might be the first step, but I definitely see it as a stepping stone. I feel
right.
That's
perfect. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Because I don't want you to go in thinking this is, oh my gosh, it's another 20-year career. I don't think that at all. I think.
No, not at all. It's just it's a way to get up and out.
Okay, good. And I think it'll go very, very well, and I do feel that that's what's going to happen, and that'll be your first stepping stone. And then I do think that you're going to be taking a lot of your natural healing abilities and your knowledge, and you're going to be embracing it, it looks like Western and, bringing modern medicine and the holistic together. And of course, you've done that before, but I really feel the community that you live in, it's almost like they're like, oh, welcome
so
home,
I can
Amy.
do that. I get it.
Yeah. So I just don't recognize the mountains, so it's obviously a state or, where I wouldn't recognize it. I think if it was Washington, I'm pretty sure I'd recognize Mount Baker.
Yeah, because that's very, it's on their license plate.
Yeah.
That's very distinctive. Okay, so lesser mountains. Okay.
Yeah. So it looks pretty good though, and as a whole, and then I see after the move, I do see a connection, and
right.
Lucky
me.
You will be this time. You won't settle. And he won't settle. So you'll both be perfect for each other. And he totally likes Bruce Springsteen.
Oh.
If he doesn't, he's a really good faker.
That's funny. That's funny.
Very into
perfect,
music.
perfect. Anyway, I'm kind of sleepy, so I'm not very talkative. So let's go
That's
on to
okay.
the next person. But thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Amy. Can you just, okay, there you go. Now we're going to get Annette. Hello, Annette.
Hello.
You need to turn, do you have a headset? Oh, there we go. Well, we're hearing the show back through your speakers. Have a headset?
What's that? Are we right now?
Do you have a headset?
No.
Okay, because you need to turn your volume down then because we're hearing the show back through your speakers. You know what I mean? Your speakers are playing the sound back through your mic, so we're getting feedback.
How do you log my computer? How do you log on again?
Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll log this computer and then we know we're right.
I'm just trying to tell you that we're getting feedback because...
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, do you have a question? I have a question.
So you're going to log on my computer.
I'm going to just log on to Peter's computer so then I know we won't have that problem.
Okay.
Okay, so just give me a couple of minutes.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to mute Annette. Okay. While that happens, what do you got coming up, Kathleen, at all? Got any events coming up? You got the Niagara Falls thing.
Yeah, that's a private event. It's a private event for somebody that works at the Hilton, so I'm excited about that because I get to stay at the one overlooking the falls, so I'm all excited about that. And then I have Oddmall coming up in February, which is a show here in Ohio. They have 4 or 5 shows. It's kind of like a Comic-Con, but Oddmall is all about the odd and unusual. They sell all sorts of really cool things there, and there's people that come from all over, and it's all about art and people's gifts and abilities and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. I'm doing that with my daughter, Amber, who's totally an amazing artist. So she's going to be doing some of her artwork there as well. I'll be doing readings there and some crystal work and selling some of the crystals. Very excited. That one's going to be through the Canton Museum of Art. I've got quite, and then April, May, and June, I'm going to be doing a lot of, in April, I'm doing Paranormal Weekend here in Kent. So I've got a lot of stuff lined up. I'm excited.
Cool. That sounds like fun. The paranormal stuff sounds fun too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's, psychics that come from all over for it, and they do a lot of cool stuff with it. They do it every year. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I am truly looking forward to being on Canadian soil this next week. So that'll be good.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Annette, I don't know if Annette is ready yet for us or not. Let me try and see what happens if we unmute Annette. Annette, are you with us now? Oh, she's on a second. Is this you?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, is this, hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello. Okay, so how are you? Do you have a question for Kathleen or?
What are you doing?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
hi, do you have?
I can't hear.
Ask you say hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I can. Yeah. Yes, I have a question that at the moment I'm in the middle of a career change and I'd like to know if there's any indication where I'm heading.
You're right in the middle of a career change?
Well, I've sort of ended a career and looking to start something else. So
Okay. You're looking to start your own business, correct? There's a woman that steps forward and tells me it has to do with you being the boss and stepping up and finally following through with something you've been building for the last 2 to 3 years. Is that correct?
Don't know.
That's the best would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because may I ask if your mother's passed? This woman she keeps telling me she's your mother.
No, not my mother, but my sister.
Okay. This woman keeps telling me that she's your mother. She keeps saying mom.
No.
If your mother's not passed, I'm not sure why she would say that, but she keeps telling me the last 2 to 3 years you've been working towards this transition, and I do feel that it's something you'll be doing on your own. It's almost like you'll be running your own business. Will you be doing like freelance work, consulting?
I've got no idea really.
Because she keeps showing me consulting, like you'll decide, where your job will take you. So I feel you'll be working for yourself, but there'll be contracts and you'll be working for, but it looks like almost like freelance work is the word I would use. And she keeps showing me that she's been pushing you in that direction. And then she shows me a lot of art coming out of your hands as well. Mm-hmm. So, but she does show me that there'll be travel involved in it. If you're not willing to travel, she says you need to find something that'll keep you challenged, and keep you stimulated. She says because you're not challenged where you're at right now.
Right.
Now, if you're ending that career. Now, are you retiring or are you just you just decided you're going to move on?
No.
Okay. Because she keeps showing me there's been major change where you're at. So I wondered if it was because there was change or if it's that you've just gotten your time in there and now you're moving on. But she shows me you'll be your own boss.
Right. Sounds good.
And you'll make pretty good money at it. She says you've talked yourself out of it enough times. Who just got divorced? She keeps showing me a divorce. Who just got divorced?
No.
Not you, in the family.
Not that I know of.
Okay. I don't know what she's showing me. She's showing me a split in a relationship in the family, and she says, it'll be a good thing. Once the dust settles, it'll be a really good thing, and she shows me that. And so she's been integrated to every part, and she keeps showing me that. She keeps telling me she's your mother. That's so weird. She keeps telling me she's your mother. Who plays cards, too? She keeps showing me decks of cards.
No, it doesn't mean...
Canasta? She keeps saying canasta.
No.
Who's in the room with you?
Who's in the room here with me?
Yes.
Peter's here with me.
Okay, is that his mother?
Your mother play canasta?
Yeah.
It's her coming through it's him. It's his mother then. Coming through for him. Sometimes I'll pick up on people in the room.
I'll leave the room.
No, it doesn't matter. No,
I'll leave the room.
But she's showing me, she's giving me information on this job with you changing it. She keeps showing me you working for yourself and doing very, very well. So, I think I'm picking up on his mother, but she's giving information. And then she's showing me that you'll do very, very well. She says that you've gotten everything, you've gotten all the knowledge, you've been gathering all the knowledge, you'll excel you'll do quite well. But I do see it more like a freelance. I see it more like freelance or, consulting is the word I'll use for it, but I see that you'll work for this person for a certain amount of time, then they'll tell their friends, and then you'll work for that person for a certain amount of time. And she, shows me that. So I think that, I'm picking up through her energy, through him being in the room, but I feel this, Annette, is for you.
Right.
So.
Well, sounds promising.
Yeah, you just have to take the step to do it. And I sometimes I'm shown pictures that don't make any sense to me, but I do want to tell you, I keep seeing an old gas station with an old gas station pump. Does that mean anything to you, Annette?
No.
Okay. Is there a painting or a picture of that?
No.
Okay. I don't know why I keep seeing that picture. So now how much longer do you have at this job? 2 weeks?
No. I've finished the job that I was at, and
Okay.
now I'm looking.
Okay. And are you looking in the same field? Because she's showing me an actual, like, it's completely outside of what you've been doing the last 20 years.
Right. I'm not necessarily looking in the same field.
Okay, good. Because you've already done that, she says. Already done that.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel it has something to do with your creativity and your artistic ability.
Right.
And I think you'll help other people find work as well. I feel it'll grow very quickly. And she says you want to work, another 15 years? And she says you want to have enough bank so 15 years you can just enjoy yourself. But I truly feel this job won't be a job. It'll be something you truly enjoy, and it'll bring a lot of, you'll continue to do it because it's something it's almost like you're creating a legacy that you're passing down. A lot of film work too. Like I see a lot of camera, a lot of shutter sounds, camera sounds, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what the connection with that is either, but I hear that when she's talking.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So I'm sorry that I didn't pick up on, sometimes I'll pick up on energy for somebody else in the room, but she seems to really love you as well. So I don't know if you knew her or if you're just really close to her son, but she keeps telling me you have to work for yourself and then you'll have more success. And if you don't want to work for yourself, you have to find a job that always challenges you and opens up doors for new. You constantly have to be challenged.
Right. Sounds like me.
Well, that's good.
Good.
Some people don't like to travel a lot. Some people like to stay, they want to do their 9 to 5, which is absolutely fine, but that's very oppressive for you. Were you a teacher?
No.
She keeps showing me, I see people working under you, but I see it more like you help them find where they need to be. That's the only way I know how to put it. It's not like a supervisor or a team leader or anything like that. It's almost like you help them find where they need to be. So,
right.
Not sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? I'm sorry I couldn't give you more information.
No, that was just very good of you to fit me in on your session. So, please to sit in and listen to everybody else.
Yeah, if you have any other questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I do have a man that keeps peeking in, and he smells very, very strong of, believe it or not, he has a very, very strong fish odor to him.
Oh, nice.
But he keeps peeking in, and I keep seeing him leaning over you, like leaning over you. Great amount of love that comes from him. I'm not sure what the significance of the fish smell is, but he keeps leaning over you. He has great love for you.
Oh, that's an unusual thing.
No, he keeps leaning in like he's healing your back. He keeps showing me your back. And he keeps showing me that he keeps putting healing energy along your back and right around the kidney area. he has this great love for you, but he's not giving me much information on why he's doing that or who he is. But I feel he's always with you.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Very protective.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, what in the United States we refer to as RBF. His looks cross, like his eyebrows are like, creased in. Like people would ask him all the time what's wrong or if he was angry. I do see that. But it wasn't, he wasn't. It was just, what they call RBF here, which is resting bitch face. That's the only way I know how to put it. So he's like everybody thought he was mad all the time and he was just thoughtful, like his brows were always creased.
Mm.
So I don't know who that was to you, but he shows me, healing energy all along your back. I think he's definitely for you because I see him attached to you. Like I see him when you're not wherever you're at, he's always putting healing energy through you. But I do smell a very strong, like, sea smell to him or fish.
Mm.
Could that be your grandfather? Did your grandfather work, was he a longshoreman? Did he work along the shoreline?
No.
Okay. I don't know who that is then. I'm sorry. That's all I'm getting.
All right then. Oh, well, I thank you for taking the time.
I'm sorry I
calling.
couldn't help you more.
That's all right. All right. Thank you then.
Well, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, Annette.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I thought that Deb was here. Oh, there she is. Hi, Deb.
I'm here. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Deb.
All right. So, you got a question?
Oh, I just realized, like, the temperature must be going up here. I'm just suddenly boiling. I have like 500 layers on here, including my lesbian vest, right? Oh my God. Yeah, we're getting a Chinook, so the temperature is supposed to go up to, well, it's going to mean a difference of 40 degrees, right? Something like that. I think it's in progress. I don't know, Kathleen. If you don't particularly, I'm going to make contact with a couple of people within the next week or so regarding like an endeavor,
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see anything about that.
You have an appointment with some people on business?
Yeah. Well, it's actually music.
Okay.
Music collaborations, and I've been contacted by 2 different people.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it'll go well. I think that you're your worst block.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
So I can't get you over that hump. Only you can.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been playing these tapes all night, and it's really actually helping because it seems like things are shifting a little bit, And,
well, I think you're shifting a lot. I think you have a major move coming up. I saw that in your last reading. I think that you're going to have success, and I think that your ego comes in and your fear creeps in and you stop yourself from going forward because you're so afraid of being set back farther than you are right now. And I don't feel you'll ever be set farther than you are right now. I think all of this was a learning curve for you, and I also feel that there's opportunity that's coming up that if everything went according to plan 2 years ago, this great opportunity wouldn't be here. You know, the universe's timing is impeccable. Like when it all starts to fall into place for you, they're going to say, "Oh, thank God that the timing was perfect for this 2 years ago. We would have never been able to do this." So I think the aha moment's going to come. I think that you're good at what you do, but you block yourself, and then you get angry, and then your anger comes out, and then people don't know how to get over that to get to the core essence of Deborah, which is creative and beautiful and connected, and you're talented. And you just somewhere along the line somebody told you weren't talented, and you're listening to that still, and that's just not true. So
there's a lot of that I'm needing to overcome, and that's the kind of stuff I'm listening to at night right now, like while I'm sleeping. I'm just, because consciously I can block stuff so easily. Mm-hmm. So that's why the mind control at night while I'm sleeping.
Well, that's good, and you're sleeping better too, which is another good thing for you. But I really do, and then you're starting sometimes. When you put your art, you're very artistic, and you're a very talented painter and artist, and even though everything might not sell right away, when you're putting it out there, you're seeing that people are seeing it and complimenting it. And it might not even be about it selling right away. It might be the fact that people are trying to get through to you that you're a beautiful artist. Right. And that's coming through first. So I really truly believe that you're moving in a very positive direction. I think that things are starting to look up. This is a good year for you, but it is the year of change. And you have free will. You can either embrace it and look towards the adventure and open up your scope of the realm you're in now, or stay where you're at for another few months. But I think within the next 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to be moving in a very positive direction because you're done. You're tired. You're tired of doing it the way you're doing it.
I mean, I'm finding like I really have to watch my languaging and just what my current thought is, because it has a bigger effect than we realize. And the other night when I left the show, I had to leave, and it wasn't anything personal with anyone. I know Corrine was doing the interviewing, and it was nothing personal. It was just that I was triggered and I had to go and work through what I was feeling. So it didn't really have anything to do with anyone else, mm-hmm. So it probably looked pretty weird, but it's just been an intense process here,
Sure. Healing always is.
Yeah.
Damage is done swiftly, efficiently, and it takes years to get over it, and people they expect healing to take place overnight, and it doesn't. Damage can be done overnight, but healing is a process, because we're here to teach, we're here to feel, we're here to experience, we're here to learn. It's this amazing process, and in 2 more years, you're going to be saying, "Oh, if I had not had that experience, this would not have come from it." Your experience this last 2 years is is going to bring something good in. You just have to let it. And you can't let your anger get ahead of you anymore, because that is your biggest block.
Yeah, anger. Well, I think resentment in a way. I think a lot of the anger I have is from quite a while ago, and it's, when you store it for a long time, it becomes resentment, right?
Sure,
and, it's really not good. I mean, I have done a lot of work on my anger, and I've, definitely, but what I'm dealing with now is the last stubborn bits of it, but yeah, I guess just spending time with myself and is very therapeutic right now for me.
Well, I think what the opportunities that are coming up with the music and everything are great. And it's I think that we're going to see a major move, and that hasn't changed. I mean, I saw that the last time, and I truly believe that. I think that you probably could have moved 6 months ago. But again, the universe's timing is impeccable. There's a reason why we get thrown on a detour. Sometimes it's to help somebody else. Sometimes, it's not even our shit that we're getting pulled onto that side. So, cause people say, well, if I'd listened to my intuition back then, I wouldn't have never met so and so. Well, sometimes it's not your journey. You get detoured for, again, we're here to teach and to learn, so you get pulled for somebody else's journey.
Yeah.
So I truly believe that, and I think that you have some great opportunity coming up. I think that in 2 years' time you'll be helping other people through the time that you've been through, and you'll be like, look, I know you're having a tough time, and I know it's scary, but you have 100% success rate of getting through your worst day.
Yeah.
And you can do it. And I truly believe that. And I think your artistic ability is phenomenal. I don't think you should ever stop creating. I'll be honest with you. I think you're done with hair. I think you're good at it, and I think that it pays the bills when you need it to, and it might always be, it's a knowledge you can fall back on, but.
It's sideline now. It's not.
Yeah, it's not for you anymore, and it served its purpose. Yeah. It served its purpose, so,
Yeah, I'm real tired of it. I mean, 42 years.
Yeah, it's time to take the life by the kahunas. You got this.
It's scary to jump out there,
How
right?
do you know you've never jumped out there?
Well, I have a long time ago, but not for a long time.
Yeah, it worked out then too, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it always did. But I've been less inclined to take risks. I think
Why?
it happens as you get older. It can happen as you get older, but it really isn't doing any good not to take them.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When did some people really do they're like, oh, everything was going so good, and then this bad thing happened, and I'm like, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe things are going bad, and then this really good thing happened. And everybody has to understand that sometimes we wouldn't change anything if we were just content.
Yeah.
We wouldn't grow, we wouldn't evolve, we would just stay content. So sometimes the monkey wrench is thrown in there, or the detour, or the bad, the bad year or two is thrown in there because we have to evolve, and we have to be getting to our next vibrational part, or our greater good. And sometimes it just really sucks, and it takes a long time to go through that process. But it is a process. There's much longer periods of good and higher vibrational. You've had a lot of success in your life. You should be very proud of what you've done. It's not about what you've lost. It's about what you have done.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I have done more than the average person. That's very true, Kathleen. And I don't know. I just need to be not afraid to come out and be who I am, you know. And I've been in hiding for quite a while.
Right. So, yeah. And now you're on your way again, so we're good. And
yeah. Well, Chris will probably roll over when I say this, and I mean, I've looked at her stuff for years off and on, but I never really listened to any of her meditations and stuff. But Louise Hay is what's helping me right now. It's just the right thing that I need to hear right now at this moment, you know. And that's what I'm playing at night, because it's a matter of reprogramming. Because I want to leave the old story behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, there's so many temptations in one day just to, you know, fall back into, that story, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And it doesn't matter what any of the rest of us think about who you're listening to. If it's working for you and it's resonating for you and it's bringing you a sense of peace, you have to do it. And that's, a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, well, I don't know if that, I might not be the reader for everybody. There's some people I can't fully connect to. There's times where I might not be the reader for you tonight, but I might be the reader for you next week.
Yeah.
It truly is, you have to work with what resonates with you and what works for you.
Yeah.
And what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me, but you should truly always follow what works best for you. And if that's what's working for you right now to get you up out of your funk and get you moving, Deborah, you do it every night. You do whatever you have to do to get out of where you're at right now, because you're an amazing force, and it's time for you to act like it.
Yeah, I know. Trying to hide isn't serving anyone well. But, with the healing process, I mean, for me, it's like the last, 17 years of intensive work that I've been doing on myself. And, if when I reach that point, which I feel is soon, of homeostasis, where I have complete balance and equilibrium, I feel it's not that far for me. If somebody asks me, well, what did you do? It's a whole series of things. It's not just one thing. And there's so many different modalities that have been involved, and so many different, things over that time period, right?
Right, but that's all behind you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I find fascinating about the process, is that there is no one easy answer for anybody. Like, I think that's for anybody.
Well, sure. If it was easy, nothing would get done, and there'd be no evolving in the world. There wouldn't be modern medicine. There wouldn't be, art changing. There wouldn't be new teaching methods. There wouldn't be, this is a process, and your spiritual life is not. People have to get to a point where. That sounds really bold, and I shouldn't say it that way. All souls have to get to a position where they welcome their physical life and their spiritual life together. Too often we separate it. We have to have this deep spiritual connection and separate it from our deep physical connection, and it just doesn't work. You have to combine the two. And when you separate the two, you get lost. And some of us are better at at being more in the spiritual world than we are in the physical world. Some of us are better in the physical world. Like people say all the time, oh, I wish I could do what you could do. Well, I really wish I could do what they do as well. Like I can't sing. And nobody wants to hear me sing. Seriously. Nobody wants to hear me sing. But you have a great voice. So we all have abilities that help garner what this physical life is about. We all have connections. We all help people through spiritual moments. Spirit is an amazing force, and it's an ancient force. So we do have to find that happy medium. I've said it before, and I tell people if you have to remove yourself from blocking your own path, and that's what's happening. It doesn't matter if something happened 20 years ago. It doesn't matter if something happened 2 days ago. If you want to be somewhere else, then you have to do the work to get somewhere else. It just doesn't fall into your lap. Now, manifestation.
I have been doing the work, Kathleen.
Right.
That's why I felt frustrated because, we think we should be further ahead than we are, or, stuff.
Right.
There's a difference between, you can work really hard and still get nowhere. And so there comes a time when you got to go, for now, this thing isn't working. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I did.
And yeah, well, but I mean, how many, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue with you, but, I think that's how some people can get stuck too, is like they want, I know this, and I know this, and I know these things very well, and I'm good at them, and I'm working, trying, blah, blah, and I'm not getting nowhere with it. For now, you gotta try something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I totally get it, for sure. I mean,
it's like that water skiing story of mine, that true life ass spanking. Let go of the effing rope. Let go. Let go.
yeah.
And so that's because
yeah.
sometimes we're busy working so hard we aren't seeing anything else but that, and take a step. They say change your perspective. Okay, so step up on look at something from a different angle, from a different whatever. So sometimes we got to get out of our own self to do that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right.
I just think you have opportunity, and I think you're your biggest block. I don't know how to get you over that hump, and I think you're on your way. And I think you get upset when I'm not saying that you're not going to get over it. I'm not saying that that's the only thing that's stopping you from going forward. But I really truly feel you're your worst block. And I think your block is fear. You're really great, you're afraid, and your ego has created a scenario that has not even occurred yet, and you've got it down as gospel. And when people tell you you're going to succeed, you tell them why you're not. And that's your shit. That's not anybody else's.
Get it. And you're completely right about the fear, because if I look through my life, that has been the constant thread running through a lot of scenarios. Really, we deal with the same shit, it seems like, our whole life, right?
Yeah.
It's just recycled on a different level because I went back and looked at old journals and things like that, and I'm like, oh my God,
Why are you keeping old journals? That's another thing. People never write in their diaries when they're happy.
Right.
We keep the worst moments of our lives written down in a book, and then we read them years later. All that energy comes right back into your soul. All the energy that you felt when you wrote it down on paper.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think I should burn them?
Absolutely. You don't need a book to remind you of the worst times of your life. And if you forget them that easy, good for you.
Well, no, and that's what I had that happen to me, right? Where I had totally totally forgotten about something. And when I was going through all this purging, cleaning, getting rid of papers, and then here's me, like, I look at everything before I throw anything out, right? And I'm reading this email that just, like, I totally forgot about that whole incident, and it pissed me off all over again. You know what I mean? And it brought it all back. And I'm like, oh, that I never should have kept it. You know what I'm saying? And
well, you know, mine's kind of mixed in with poems and songs and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
That's why I get them. But I don't know.
There's one thing to have a song book and a poem book, and then have but yeah, I agree. It's been so many years since I was ever writing stuff down. I thought it really wasn't helping me. You know?
I have journals in there from when I was like 21 years old.
When I moved 15 years ago, I found a bunch of my old journals, and everything that was in there, it was about a really bad relationship I was in, and everything that was on that, all that energy and emotion that I put on the page for purging my soul came rushing back, and I was sick for weeks. I felt insecure. I felt lost. I felt angry. I felt and I'm like, where is this coming from? Because I was in a pretty good place in my life at that time. And here it was just because I reread and let that energy back in. I say burn them. Get rid of them.
Right.
I know if you're gonna insist on looking at any of it again, this would be for anyone else out there. Maybe not you, Dan, okay? But it'd be an interesting exercise to take one of those books that you have all your journal stuff in or whatever. Any page that has sad or negative news in it, rip it out and put it there. If it's got, if it's only good stuff on one whole page, only good stuff, leave it in the book. And then go to the next page. If there's bad stuff in it, rip it out. And then see how many pages are left in your book. That would be neat.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably know, right?
Right.
Some people, they do write everything. So they write every day. You know what I mean? So they go, oh, this great thing happened, and this guy looked at me, or this happened, or I got an A on my paper, whatever good thing happened, right?
Yeah.
Some people are really journaling, but Kathleen's right. Most people, when they get depressed, they'll go and start writing their feelings down. You know what I mean?
Well, I used to do it daily, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, for a daily person who's recording good and bad stuff, it would be interesting to see how much is positive and how much is negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I got one of those jars for Christmas where every time something good happens, I'm supposed to write it on a paper and put it in the jar.
Right.
And then at the end of the year, you're supposed to read them.
Oh, there you go. Well, there's a little spin on it. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice idea. Hopefully your cup runneth over.
Oh, yeah. My jar runneth over?
Yeah, hopefully your jar will be full.
Yeah, exactly.
And did you give good riddance with love and respect to 2016, even if it sucked?
Did I give good riddance to it?
Yeah, like, send it on its way with great appreciation for any growth that it provided you.
Yeah.
If it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, what a shitty year, and be glad to see the end of you and stuff. I wasn't really feeling that, I was just feeling like, a new 1 year, new beginnings, and I feel that, it's going to be good. That's what I feel. And I'm already seeing, the result of this stuff I'm doing because, lots of times I've gone out there and tried to connect, and just the connections weren't being made, and now suddenly, twice in 1 week, and that's after I've been doing these meditations to, basically try to attract better things into my life, you know, and it seems to be working. So I gotta just stay on that path, and you know, thoughts that aren't serving me well need to be nipped in the bud immediately.
And your excuses need to be nipped in the butt.
What kind of excuses, like?
Like when you start to get, you know, when you start to go in the right direction, you tend to, like I said, that ego creeps in, and then you make excuses. You're like, well, I have to take care of this first, and then I have to do this, and then, you know, this happened 3 years ago, so, you know, I don't want to. Your fear completely overpowers your success, and you just have the amazing ability to have that success. And when you push that fear down, you know, you're going to say, oh my gosh, this was so easy. I can't believe I wasted so much time.
Yeah.
And I know it's easier said than done because I've been there. But it's time. And if that means you have to declutter and that's going to help you with an easier transition, you need to declutter. That doesn't mean going through every paper. If there's a box in your corner that you haven't gone through in 3 years, there is nothing in that box that you need to see.
Want to come here and help me? Because that's I have been clearing out stuff. I burned like 6 boxes of paper in the summer in the fire pit, you know, and I don't want to put it in the dumpster because there might be personal information in some of it, right? Anyway, so I've done another sweep, and now I have to do another sweep again, right?
Yes. And you keep doing it, and don't replace it with other stuff. You're doing quite well, and I think that
yeah, like the area I've done, it feels really good, you know, and to have only stuff here that matters to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it all mattered at one time. That's what I was saying. We all evolved to a point where I don't write, and I used to journal all the time, and then now I only write down what I'm grateful for. Like I don't write every day, but you know, oh my gosh, I've been so blessed. Even if I never make more than what I'm making right now, it doesn't matter. It's, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed. So now I write down what I'm blessed about. I mean, you have awesome cats. You can paint. You can still see well enough to paint. You can sing. You can play the guitar. You can teach other people how to get into, there's so much you have to be thankful for.
Yeah. Oh, I do have lots to be thankful for.
Yeah, and you're not in that relationship that your neighbors are in. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine living in that all the time? So, you know, and that's another thing. Your environment has to change.
Yeah, it really has to, and I can see why people were mad that I moved here. Like, it's a really nice space, but you know, there's that, and it is hard to rise above that. And but you know what? I'm going around here saying I'm thankful for this place, you know. And it's nice and big, and it suits me, you know, that way. But in fact, Louise was talking about this time she was looking for a place to live, and she said always leave in a good way, and always kind of like bless the place when you're leaving, just like anything you let go of, and you're like, let go of it with love. Don't be saying, well, glad to see the ass end of you going out the door or whatever, you know.
Right.
You're supposed to say, you know, you know, it served its purpose, and now someone else who needs this space will come in here, right? And I'll move on to something. That's the only way you're going to find something better, she says, is by letting go of the things in a good way. So I'm still letting go of that long relationship with that friend, and I've been processing that and wanting to lash out with anger, but knowing that that's not the right approach to do. So just to try to, through that and let go of it in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's it keeps you busy. It can keep you busy all day and all night.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
I think you're going to do pretty good, but like I said, the only thing I see blocking your way is you.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
And that's an easy fix. It's an easy fix because then that as much as and that I'm not trying to be condescending, but that's an easy fix. If it was somebody else that was your blockage, you have to deal with a whole other energy.
Right. Right.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Stress and fear can do a lot of damage. And life can be gone in an instant. We all know that. So don't waste time living in fear. Waste time living in the moment, living in the trying, living in the adventure of it, jumping in with both feet. If the water's too shallow, then you climb out of the river and you jump in the next one.
Well, yeah, that's easy to say, but when you're not able to meet your basic expenses,
you're not able to make your basic expenses because you're exactly where you were 3 years ago. You're not changing it. You have to move. You have to change your environment. You have to do the work. You have to get to a better place. It's not going to fall into your lap.
No, but I am doing the work, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like I have been doing the work. But while I've been doing the work, it's like the
you've been stubbornly. Well, I mean, you keep staying. That's what I was trying to say. Was you've been doing the work, but what you've been doing hasn't been working. That's the point.
Right.
And so, like we've talked about it a million times. You have to get the hell out of Calgary.
Yeah.
That's and until that happens, I don't see nothing changing for you.
Yeah. You're stuck in your victimology.
Well, see, that's what I've been working my way out of for a long time, and it's been pretty deep process to work through, And also the person who was working with me, I don't agree with everything, and it's actually some of the stuff that she was doing, it felt as though it was where, I was keeping more stuck by that, and there was some kind of problem there that was, she was wanting me to stay stuck in a way,
Let me just interrupt and just say to anyone that's there who wants to come on for overtime, come on for overtime, and because we'll do this for another hour. You know what I mean? So anybody who wants to unmute, call in. Kathleen, are you hanging out, or do you have to get going, or what are you doing?
I can hang out. I'm going to hang out for a little while because I'm not. Cool. I haven't slept very well the last 2 days with everything that's going on.
Okay, Corinne's going to call. Mary Margaret, you know how to unmute. Sheila, if you want to unmute, you just push 1 on your phone. Mary Margaret, you would bring up your dial pad, Mary Margaret, and push 1 on it. Okay? And I'm going to thank the archive listeners. We're here tomorrow. I think hopefully Alicia remembers she's supposed to be here to interview Jen Young. And Friday, Shelva's here. Saturday, Yvette Howell is here. Feels like it's been forever since she's been here. And So thank you, archive listeners. We hope you can join us here sooner or later live and catch all this exciting overtime stuff that goes on. And so I'm going to close off the recording.